Well, welcome back. So now what we're going to do is we're going to learn a little bit about design. I thought I'd show you that a lot of shapes that you commonly use come out of what's called a circle. So I gave you some circle templates and I'd like to show you how to do that. So let's just take a look at what kind of items we have to use. So we're going to start on the table. I have a large circle template right here where my hand is, and we have smaller ones in case you have smaller ones. Then we have two sets of triangles, the 30-60, and we're going to be using the 60-degree angle today, and then the 45. So this 60, that makes what's called a hexagon, and the 45 does an octagon. This particular device obviously is a protractor, so in case you want a curve of some sort. So those are all items, and obviously you can use freehand, but sometimes people want some things that help them. So let's kind of start out. I'm going to use a marker. I know you're going to be using a pencil, but that might help you see. So here's some tricks. So trick number one is obviously we're going to trace the circle. So I'm going to trace this large circle so you can see. Then I'm going to show you a trick. So the trick involves using some masking tape and a flexible ruler. So I got two pieces of tape on my finger. I have a flexible ruler, right over here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to now lay the flexible ruler somewhere on the circle so it's touching, and I'm going to just tape down my plastic ruler so it doesn't move. Alright, so now we take a 30-60 triangle, and you're going to use this. This is great because now I can use this as a sliding ruler. So here's how you do it. So you slide it close. You can take your pen and you can lay a nice line for your hexagon on this side. So that's that angle. I can show you the other side so I can cheat and I could do this side. There's that side. Now I'm going to flip it like a sail ship. So I'm going to just flip it over so that that short end's still on the slide rule. I'm going to come over here on this side, touch this side of the circle and lay out a line. Slide it on this side and lay out this line. So there is a big part of the hexagon. And you can see I can now use my ruler that I laid here. So now I'm going to draw that line. And I need one more. So why don't we just kind of guess it? So we could take this and kind of lay it close and set that up. All right, so that's one way that you could do that. Now you know that a chair probably does not have those corners. However, what's neat about it is it's a way for you to kind of think. Now if you wanted to round it, so then you could start out, because we always start out with a generic shape and then sometimes we round it. So you take your pen and you round it. Maybe you want to round it on both sides, so it's at least a way to lay something out. Maybe you want to take this corner off, so you lay that corner off, and now you have a shape or a pattern that you want to draw over. You'll be doing this in pencil. Okay, so this is some ideas. I wanted to show you some quick tricks. Circles are very helpful. I can use a triangle on a circle. So anything that's what's called a equilateral, I can do. So I should say quadrilateral would work. But moving on, how would I actually cut this out is the same as I cut out everything else. So if I went about cutting, I don't think I need to show you that. What I'd like to do is talk about how you're going to lay things out. So once you started with something like this chair, you got to do some proportions. So if you're looking at your sketch and you look at this particular base, you better measure how wide this is and then look at your sketch and say, how wide is it related to how high my chair is? Meaning, at some point in time you have to say, you're going to make up your fictional size in your head. So if I say this is 1 to me and I go, oh, my chair bottom is like 3, then my next question is, how high do you want the back of the chair? So these kind of ideas you can kind of start by starting with the seat, working off of it. Now what if you want to have a piece go all the way around this? You know, how would you like to go ahead and do that? There's a couple tricks. So if I take a second piece of scrap, here's what a lot of kids do. So sometimes they actually kind of cheat with a skinny piece and they use that as a measuring device. So I've seen students do some creative stuff. If I want to make a piece the right length from here to here, they're literally going to just use a little template. They're going to lay it on this line, mark this distance. So now they stole this length, and then they want to do it again. So they're going to take and put it and add on another length. So there we go. So now I have this plus this, right? So if I wanted to cut that, I want to use my square. So I'm going to use my square. I'm going to lay my square so that it's right on the piece, and I'm going to draw my line. And what's cool about this is this becomes what's called the score line. I was showing you that, and this is the cut line. So if I cut it, just a quick review, you can use a square to cut, so if you're careful, you can use it. So we can use this. Remember, we're going to crowd this so it's nice and tight. And we're going to cut 1, 2, and 3. And the last cut I'd like to do is I'm going to hold my pencil and just do a soft score. 1, 2, and that allows me to do a bend. So if I bend this, you can see how this could wrap around this corner. It's all one piece. So that's what's kind of fun about using styrofoam with this. The second thing that I want to talk to you about is I'm not just giving you foam board, I'm also giving you what's called pegboard. So I'm going to give you a little bit thicker paper. This is not regular paper. This is pretty thick. So if we kind of look at it, you can see it's stiff. All right, so
very stiff.
So I can measure this and I can use this in my design. How do we hold different parts together is the next idea. All right. So what we need to learn is I'm going to cut out this piece and I'm going to cut out this piece, and I'd like to show you how to fasten two pieces together. So we'll come back in a second. Can you shut it off?
Okay. Oh wait, I want to show them the watch me whip and watch me hit it. Wait, see what's this? Okay. Now watching whip, watching in it. Okay.